subscribe.
Russell Envy here, back with another video about the Upland Metaverse. And in this video, we are talking about tours. There is a La La Land tour going on right now. It ends in a couple minutes. That's why I wanted to make this video, to show you what tours are like, what you can expect when you go into a tour, how things work, how to register, and everything good coming to tours. So if you are not familiar, head over to the Uplands event tab. So go into community and click on news and events when you're on the Upland website, and you'll see the blog posts. So this is the page for the La La Land tour, and it tells you everything that you need to know. There was an update. This tour was supposed to happen last week. It got rescheduled to today because there was an issue with the release of Detroit and some of the collection properties. So this got pushed back, but that's okay. So what you needed to do was you needed to register for this tour. You always have to register for the events that are going on. I'll show you how that works here in a second. This cost 2,000 UPIX, or $2 to register for the tour, and at the end of this thing, you're going to get 0.01 Spark. I think that's a pretty good deal, you know. Not only that, you get most of this money back. I'll show you where it says that on the page, but most people get that money back. So maybe you paid 50 cents for 0.01 Spark, and there's a way to calculate how much 0.01 Spark is. I think you end up coming out ahead, so this was a great deal for some Spark. So this is the La La Land tour. So what you needed to do in game, I'm here in San Francisco. I'm always in San Francisco. But when you register, what you do is you bring up your three dots and you bring up your treasure tab. And you need to make sure that you're in the city where the tour is going to happen. So here's Los Angeles. To bring up your city, click on the world map, and then you can scroll and you can find Los Angeles. So when this was ready to go, we could register, and there was a button that said register here, and then you clicked it, you paid your 2,000 UPIX, and then it said come back when the tour is about to begin. When the tour begins, this is what it looks like, and it has view tour locations. So there's actually a registration going on right now in the Bronx, and I want to take you there to show you what registering looks like. So you can actually go into the Bronx like this, and there's a St. Patty's Day treasure hunt going on right now. So it says registration ends, and it shows you've got 8 minutes and 46 or 8 hours. Yeah, I think you have till 9 a.m. tomorrow to register. So 8 hours, 46 minutes. So you pay 5,000 UPIX, and when you do this, or you pay 2,000 UPIX for this, and you're going to register. Basically, you get a spot for this tour. It calculates that you are going to be in this tour, and it gets everything set up. And then that way, tomorrow, when you go in there, it will say start or compete. The St. Patty's Day one is going to be a little bit different, but let's just focus on La La Land here for a minute. We'll cover the St. Patty's Day one because it is a different kind of... It's not really a tour, it's a scavenger hunt, but I do think that these two things are similar in many, many ways. So, all right, let's say you registered for the La La Land tour, and today, when registration opened up, when the tour opened up, you click right here where it says View Tour Locations, and all of these were commented out, except for the first one. So naturally what you need to do is you need to click on this first view button, and it brings up a card here. And this card usually says, welcome, we're going to be doing this La La Land tour. Anyways, what you need to do is you need to get down to the first location, which is 315 South Broadway. Now, this is my only complaint when it comes to tours, is that this address right here should be clickable, or I should at least be able to copy and paste it, but I cannot. You have to manually search. So first thing first, you had to get your Block Explorer to the city where the tour happens. You have to be in the city where the tour is going on. So I flew from San Francisco to LA, landed at LAX, and then I typed in 315 South Broadway. So when you do that, it takes you to your first location. You actually need to send on this. So you need to go in here. This one's for sale, so the send button is down here. But you would click send, yes, and you can see that the price is 50 UPIX for here. Some people like to jack up this price. I'll show you one where it's at the very max fee of 125 UPIX. I do know some people were kind of upset about that, but regardless, you need to send your Block Explorer to the property. So let's cover that here for a second too, because I actually took a screenshot of this earlier. So when you register for these things, they're going to give you extra sends for the tours. So it looks like that they gave everybody 15 or I think 20 extra sends. There's only 10 locations that you have to visit, so they basically gave you double the sends that you need, or I think they gave you almost exactly the sends you need, plus a couple to get to whatever city that you need to get to. So I had a total of 26 sends when I started this. Again, you can always click on your Block Explorer to bring up your sends. Wherever you are, click on your little person, your Block Explorer, and then click on the little airplane, the little send, and it tells you how many sends you have there. So I saw mine where it said 26. You saw the screenshot. I'm sitting at 11 right now because I used all mine up. So from LAX, we went to 315 South Broadway, and we clicked send. And when we clicked send, it said, congratulations, you found a treasure. And it had this cool little treasure icon sitting there, and it was bouncing, you know, like it does. It goes like this and it bounces, and then you click on the treasure chest and it opens up, and then you were given 100 UPIX. And I know that it doesn't seem like much, but over the course of the tour, every location that you go to, so that's 10 stops, they're going to give you at least 100 UPIX, if not more. So we'll calculate that here in a second to show you how much it was. Maybe not, because I don't remember specifically, but like towards the end of this tour, the locations were giving me 220, 230 UPIX, kind of like a standard treasured wood. And I think I almost made my money back. If not, you usually do make your money back. So I know I wanted to talk about that real quick. And on the blog post for the St. Patrick's Day hunt, there's a casual play mode here, and it says this. It says, players who participate in the casual tier will receive 100% of their registration fee, plus a chance to win bonus UPIX for doing this. So there is usually, for fees, for hunts, for stuff like that, you usually get most of your registration fee. Again, we only paid 2,000 UPIX, or $2, for a little bit of spark, and you get most of this back. You end up paying maybe 50 cents for a couple dollars worth of spark. So inside of here, you go to treasures, you go to the city that you're in, and then you'll see the tour. You click on the tour location, and then you send to the first property. Once you send to the first property, it unlocks the second property. Now you go into the second property, and it's going to tell you 315 South Broadway is actually the Grand Central Market. That's where you're at. So this is telling you all about the place that you just sent to. Now it's saying go to 6067 Wilshire. So I have a couple properties on Wilshire, and 6067 is right here. I actually had to find this today. It was a little hard. But so you can actually see, let's go to the street view, and here's Wilshire. So there's some pretty cool views from this museum. I'm not sure if you can walk around. Yeah, you can't walk around in this museum, but out front, there's some pretty cool stuff. This is called Museum Row, which is pretty cool. So let's back out of here. So here's the next location that you went to. And when you sent here, again, you got another treasure chest and you collected some upics. And then it tells you that you're in Museum Row. So you're actually here. You're over by the La Brea Tar Pits. There's the Downtown Museum. There's the LA County Museum. There's the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. There's a lot of cool stuff over here. So that's what we learned about this location. But you can see, as you visit the location, you unlock the next place you go to. Then we went to the stadium. We went to UCLA, I believe, or I'm sorry, USC. We went to Hollywood, Universal City, and then we ended up over in LA Live. So you can see this was 777 Chick Hearn Court was the final place, and that's going to be a state historic park. And it tells you some good stuff about it. But then you were done with the tour. So that's basically the rundown of how tours work. You need to register for them, right? Just kind of like this, by going to wherever you register, by going to the city, clicking the button and registering for it. And then the day of the tour, you need to get your Block Explorer to the city, and then you can participate in this tour. Once again, you just click on each one of these, send your Block Explorer to the address to unlock each one of them. Now, at the very, very end, at the very last location, there was actually a piñata, and it looked like this. It was the little director's sync thing here, where it like syncs the film. I think it's called a marker. But so this thing was bouncing like this, and then you actually had to click on this like a piñata. You needed to like tap on it, kind of like that, like a bunch of times. And then every time that you clicked on it, you were given upics, and you had a chance to win like 250 upics or something. I think that's how much I got on mine, or I think I got like 260, something like that. It wasn't big, but again, I got some upics back for it. But it was pretty cool that they had this treasure chest that had a star, like the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and then it had like this little motion picture symbol, and then something to do about movies, which is pretty cool. But so that was basically tours. That's how things like that worked. So at the end of the tour, wherever you are, you're at your last location, you're done. We haven't received our Spark yet. We'll probably get that with the next Spark drop, because we are actually in a Spark week right now. The Spark treasure hunt is going to go live in 8 hours and something minutes, whatever 9 a.m. tomorrow is. And so if we go to the Bronx, I can actually tell you it starts, because this ends at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So we have 8 hours, 36 minutes until the Spark treasure hunt happens. Which is pretty cool too. And you can do that in any city. So let's get back to Frisco, because that's where I am. But so with the tours, once you get done with that, like the Spark is going to drop in your account, and then you're free to move about the country, which is pretty cool. So coming in here, I have a couple Block Explorers from tours. And so this is right here. This is one of them. So actually, if I go into my assets and then I click on Block Explorers, this was from the comic book tour. So very similar to what we just did. This was in Manhattan, and we had to send to all of these locations that had something to do with comic books, whether it was like the birthplace of Spider-Man or Stan Lee or something like that, or like this is where they ink the comic books, something along those lines. But so this is what I got from the comic book tour, and what's cool is it actually tells you I got mint 228 of 559, and the comic book tour Explorer was gifted to players who did the A Hero is Drawn comic book tour in 2021. There's actually another one too. If we get back to San Francisco, I'll show you some of the other ones, which is pretty cool. So we can actually go into one of these Block Explorer shops. So let's come in here. We'll go into UPCO Explorers. Pretty cool. Let's scroll down. So one of these, this one right here, the Puppet Master Block Explorer. So if you click on this, Uh, this was given, this block explorer, when you completed the Chicago Mob Tour. So this is like a marionette piece, the part of the marionette at the very top that controls the people. So basically, they're saying that the mob bosses were directors or piloting a puppet show, which is kind of funny. But so you can see here that there's different explorers. There's the comic book tour again. Can we actually search on this? Can we do tour? There's one. There's one. So it only shows you while you're scrolling. Okay, I understand. I believe there's this Los Eight. No, the stadium isn't one. That's the LA Trader. I can't remember if there's another one. Let's go back. Maybe let's try one more. Let's go. I think Uplando might have one. So we need to get to Fresno, and I think Uplando's right here. Yeah, Uplando's. Shop now. So there's actually one. Is this one? Was this for a tour? Well, yeah. So this Art Palette Explorer was earned through the successful completion of the 2020 San Francisco Art Walk, which was a tour of famous locations in Frisco associated with artists and galleries. So this was another one that you could get just by doing one of those tours. So that's pretty cool. There's a film projector. Was earned through the completion of the San Francisco movie tour, where players visited various locations in San Francisco where movies had been filmed. So again, $2, $3, $4 for this block explorer, and now somebody's trying to sell it for $278. Someone got this for a couple bucks, and they're trying to get $500 out of it. So there's actually some value in these. At least that's what a lot of people here seem to think. What's this radioactive one? The completion of the Spark Reactor Scavenger Hunt in Fresno. Okay, so there's a scavenger hunt. That's a lot like what's going on tomorrow. Again, for St. Patrick's Day, you're going to get this little skating leprechaun block explorer if you compete in that, which is pretty cool. So that's a lot about covering tours here. Now, to end this off, what I do want to say about these scavenger hunts is that these are pretty complicated, and somebody wins these pretty quickly. So what's going to happen tomorrow is when you go into treasures, and you go into the Bronx, you're going to click on view locations, and just like the La La Land where it said view, there's going to be like a riddle, or there's going to be like a question, or there's going to be like, what is the place where such and such movie took place, or, something St. Patrick's Day related. But you need to solve the clue and then send your block explorer there. Now, each one of these is different. Like, it's not going to be the same style of question. So once there's a question, and it will say, like, figure out this question, send your block explorer. And then another thing, it will show you the name of the location that you need to send to, but the letters are scrambled. So it will say unscramble these letters to decipher the next location. And you usually have to move them around or something like that. So there's brain challenges when it comes to these. But if you win, or if you come in, I think it's the first 50 people or something like that. Players who finish in the top 100 win a block explorer. I mean, that right there in itself might entice me to do this, but also we have this Spark hunt coming up, and I don't want to waste all my sends trying to get this block explorer, because I think Spark is way more valuable. But tours and the scavenger hunts, they work the same. First of all, you need to go to the city in which they are taking place. You need to register. Once you register, you'll be notified when it's taking place. For La La Land, we had 24 hours, which I'm still in the window, but you click on the locations, tells you exactly where to go. No matter which one you go to, it will tell you your next place is here. I always try to read things because sometimes there's clues. Not necessarily clues that are going to help you, but you start understanding, like, why did they pick Highland Park? Oh, they picked Highland Park because of some music people. Okay, now when the next city opens up, maybe you look for more music related places in a city that's going to open up. Definitely Detroit was one of those for Motown as well, but not a lot of Motown collections we found in Detroit. But sometimes you can read a little bit more into what's on screen and maybe get some clues, and you only do that by participating in these tours and reading what these have to say. My name is Russell Envy. Come follow me over here on Twitter, Russell ENVY. I'm on Discord as well. Always happy to chat with you. Until more, have fun in the Upland Metaverse.
Subscribe.